Oh, hey, hi, hello, welcome on in, and thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Really do appreciate it. Uh, we are here for another wonderful episode of Indy by Night. Um, Episode 6, Rise of a Warrior. Um, we're gonna go ahead and have the cast go around the room, introduce who we're going to be playing. We'll go ahead and hit up some announcements afterwards, and then we'll go ahead and get right into the recap. So, Warren, hit us with who you're going to be playing this evening and what your creed is.
Hi, I'm Warren, and I am playing Brick. Brick is, as you can imagine, a pretty straightforward dude with a name like Brick, and he is the Martial Creed.
Look at you, having that information ready to go. I'm so proud. My cast, look at you. Next up, we have Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'll be playing Trina Foster, and her creed is inquisitive.
Ooh, wonderful, wonderful. And next up, we have Rob.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to be playing Jonas Bergstrom, and my creed is faith.
Beautiful. And last but not least, we have Ian.
Oh, shoot, it's me. I was on time this time, and you can't say I wasn't. Yeah, my name is Ian. I am playing Riley, aka Loverboy, and my creed is underground.
Do you have a shovel for it, though?
I could.
Do you have checked the trunk?
No, I wish. God, I mischecked the trunk so much.
I think it's called Arsenal in Ontario. You can do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, now the question is, does Riley seem like somebody who has an arsenal?
No, they sound like they do have a duffel bag, though.
A duffel bag with Arsenal written very like shittily on it in Sharpie.
Exactly.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Um, as we go ahead and get closer and closer to the wonderful, wonderful event of Gen Con that's happening next weekend in Indianapolis, we are going to be doing a live show there. But instead of Hunter, we are going back to our roots, and we will be going ahead and playing uh, Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition at the convention center live Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are interested, make sure to go ahead and stop by and get some tickets. I will be go ahead and posting the link shortly for everyone to go ahead and click on. And if you're interested in watching a bunch of nerds play vampires for a couple of hours, make sure to swing on by. It's gonna be a good time. But as we go ahead and get into tonight's episode, you guys were very, very busy last week. It was a good time to be any sort of research capable hunter. The entire episode, we had, let's see here. Jonas was doing a lot of library work. The majority of that last episode. Trina and Morgan went to a very important meeting where they met a lot of supernatural technology and research that was being done as they went to a meeting inside of the municipal building where they ran into a werewolf that transformed and let out a very loud howl that definitely triggered some people to their core. And other people just were able to put on a very good look. But after their important meeting, they went and met up with Brick, who was doing a bit of reconnaissance. And as they were all getting prepared, they went and found a cold spot in the house where they realized that there was a significant drop in temperature in the rough location of where Trina had seen the ghost when she was making her escape. But you guys did get quite a bit of information of this mostro, as they called it, or the Italian word for monster. But this was the first one that has been found stateside, where most of the other records or accounts of this creature have been in different European countries. But that is where we're sort of picking up, where it's been a very, very busy day of reconnaissance, moving around, renting equipment, putting that equipment back, and just overall just getting ready for this hunt in the best capable way they can. Rob, you still have, like I said, it's not quite 6 o'clock yet. But is there anything you guys would like to do prior to that 6 o'clock mark, where Jonas gets to have some fun times?
I think Brick's just gonna keep doing what Brick is doing, which was staking things out.
Yeah, I'm sure Trina's still elbows deep in research.
Perfect. What about Riley? Is Riley also elbow deep in research, asking for a friend?
Yes, but probably not research that's pertaining to the hunt at the moment.
Fair.
It's more of trying to find answers to what Trina had asked a couple days ago about some like favorite musics, that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
Like Riley's on a self-discovery journey at the moment, especially after the big blow up that they had last time they were around.
Love and respect that. Also, as we go into tonight's episode, you guys can go ahead and refresh some willpower. So feel free to regain some of that if you had used any last episode. And no one sent me any sort of XP expenditures. Is there anything that anyone wanted to use going into this week?
Words. I had sent you one for last week, and then I wasn't around.
Yeah. So you originally sent me the one that was going to be doubled.
Yes.
But it was just going to be one increase for now.
Okay. Then.
So you can choose which one, but for right now, since it's just this point, you'll get it later on.
You're not my dad.
You're right. You're right.
No, awesome. But yes,
Cool.
that was my. Then the other one's gonna be my other XP expenditure when we get to that point.
Yep. So just choose which one, and then let me know which one you went to. You can send me a DM with it.
All right.
Okay. As you guys spend the next few hours researching, watching, discovering, it is finally 6 o'clock. Which means, Jonas, you have all the information you could ever need.
Except for how to find this thing or how to get rid of it.
Exactly.
That's semantics.
Like I said, all the information you need.
So I think I would reach out to everybody and, or I think that I would reach out to Trina and Brick and share, hey, I found out some things about this thing. The name Mostro was really helpful. So it's I don't know what to call it other than something that doesn't seem like what I would assume is a regular ghost, in part because it seems like there's only ever one of them at a time. And basically, it doesn't seem like this behavior matches any of the descriptions of it in the past. Um, I don't see any indications about how to hurt it or that anyone's ever even been successful in hurting it. But also, they're not usually violent. This one was probably being defensive. Like, maybe this house is important to it.
Um, I just, I, Kate said something very similar, and it just doesn't really jive with defensive. When we encountered this thing, it seemed like it was hunting, like we were its prey, not like it was trying to protect itself. And the way it killed that young man was simply brutal. I mean, it cracked his chest open and pried his heart out and stuck it in the oven.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying that this explains why y'all saw what you saw, but I think that if nothing else, it gives us a clear something is wrong here. So something's different than it ought to be, which maybe we can start working to try to uncover.
Well, I was able to find that Caden did own the home, but originally it was owned by a friend of his by the name of Madison Rice. She was actually murdered during a robbery at the property, and they looked briefly at Caden as a person of interest, but he had an alibi, so they quit looking at him. But he eventually ended up buying the home, and he got it for a discount, but not an unreasonable one. I need to do some more digging on that front just to see if I can get some more details in regards to the case.
Okay.
Bruce, did Morgan provide me with the information she had found in reference to her search?
Yes, she did because she was going at the doing some research at the library with you. So
Okay.
you guys would have definitely been able to share that information back and forth as well.
So add this to your list of potential clues. She managed to find a photo. I don't know where, but it appears to be a castle in Transylvania, dated roughly around the 1830s, and the word Yorak, Yorak, is written on the photograph.
Okay.
And she also found some other photos of creatures similar, but most of them had kind of slug like properties, didn't really have that kind of centipede style look like we saw on this one.
Yeah. What was the word? Like Scorpion King thing.
Yes, the Scorpion King, that's right.
Yeah.
But the information she was able to find also lines up with what you said about there's only one of them at a time. This is the only one that's ever been seen stateside, and that they usually are defensive, not aggressive.
Right. Right. Well, um, we talked about things getting hot here. I guess if you are still planning on travel, I might ask that you headed to Venice and see what you could find out there.
Sugar, I ain't got the kind of money it would take to get to Venice, let alone live there.
All right. Well, fair enough.
And for now, I'm not going anywhere till we at least piece this together.
Okay. All right. So I guess we need to figure out what our next steps are. The only one that's jumping out to me is see if we can find out what the police came up with. I'm betting not very much. And talk to the neighbors about what they have seen and heard going on at the house.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if I had a chance to impart this to you. I know I shooed you back into your office when you came out to try to be a part of the conversation because I wanted to make sure that you had all the time you needed. But
I
um,
appreciate it.
when we talked to Kate, I don't believe necessarily that this thing, this Mastro is necessarily linked to Caden at all. They've been watching this thing apparently for quite some time, and that was the first time it's popped up there. Not like it had made a home. So she didn't seem to think that the property so much had much to do with the Mastro or the haunting that's connected to Caden. I think they're two coinciding separate incidents, possibly.
Okay. Okay. Brick, did you see anything weird while you were there?
I mean, that's a broad question, but
Did you see anything this kind of weird when you were there?
look, I've on werewolves and bloodsuckers, ghosts. I'm not sure about, but while I was watching it, it did seem like there was something inside. It looked like an arm pulled closed a curtain. Uh, could have just been a person in there for all I know, but we did get a reading on the camera, something cold. So there's something in there.
Okay. Did Kate say why she wanted to talk to us?
Um, it was in reference to the Mastro. They figured since we were already involved that maybe we could put some manpower to it and help them figure out what was going on. In return, I was able to, maybe negotiate some sort of payment for services rendered.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she didn't have any proton packs for us, so they don't really have a lot of. For as long as they've been doing this, they're really terrible at giving you advice on how to deal with ghosts.
Okay. Well, that's a shame, but I guess that's where we are.
So I think if I now, do you have contacts with the police?
Technically,
Are they good contacts, honey?
um, my ex was a cop for a while,
I gotcha.
and I knew some of his friends, and they probably don't like me very much.
I take it the breakup wasn't particularly amicable.
wasn't It wasn't bad. He got hurt,
Like physically?
like physically, and it was basically my fault.
Well, maybe sometime when we've had a few stiff drinks we can talk about it, honey.
Yeah, yeah. That we need to change topics, or that time's going to come up quickly.
Would you feel comfortable, and do you think you'd get anywhere if you reached out and maybe could see what we've got in reference to the Caden situation?
Yeah, I can talk to them. It's probably better than nothing. So
And I think we should keep looking into this Madison Rice angle. I just feel like there's something more there. Given what Morgan told us about him being haunted by her, I don't know if this is somehow connected to the Mastro or what. I just feel like if we're gonna resolve whatever's keeping Kate tethered here, I think that might be the first place to start.
okay, okay. And I think Kate may be well, maybe there's something special about this case, but Brick, if what you're saying is right, it sounds like the house is relevant somehow. So I'm not saying let's go in there, right? But something to think about. Go in there, yeah. The, there's a
I was
voice of
I was
God in
ready
the
to
back of my head going,
I was ready to go in there. Trina wouldn't let me.
Voice of God, voice of the devil, one of the two. To be
Do it,
determined.
You won't.
You'll get your chance, Brick. Don't worry. I just know that whatever's in there, shooting it isn't gonna do nothing. Unfortunately.
so I know that we're sort of in the middle of something, and I don't want to stir up anything. I know what the answer to this might be, but we have anything that we want Riley to do while we're doing this? I'm a little bit concerned about leaving them here by themselves. Uh,
Maybe take them along with you.
go talk to the cops. Okay, yeah, that could be effective.
Riley, why don't you come stake this place out with me? I'll bring lots of food.
Or yeah, Riley could go with Brick.
Yeah, I don't mind either.
I don't know how well Riley would do in a situation where they were surrounded by a bunch of police officers.
Me
Am I
either.
around for this moment? No.
No.
Not for this conversation, not yet.
Just making sure. I was like, did I miss
right.
something somewhere?
So
How
maybe
dare
it's
you.
best if Riley goes with Brick.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
All right. Well, it's 6 o'clock now. Let's say we try to touch base again by 9:30.
Yeah.
That give
Yeah,
you
that'll
enough
do it.
time.
Yep.
Okay. I'll see what I can dig up. You be careful now, Sugar.
You too.
All right. Who sends the text to Riley about the plans?
I guess that would be me.
Riley's BFF, Jonas.
Sorry, you keep getting put on Riley duty.
Okay. It's okay. He quite literally has faith that you're gonna get through this.
Smooth. I like that. Okay. As you guys, Riley, you do get a text message from Jonas saying that you are going on observation duty, as it were.
All right, then, Jonas, you just get a text back from Riley that says, "Okay, am I still in trouble?" Question mark.
I think that he just taps back the question mark and then comes back with like, about what?
I'll take that as I get a response. I'll take that as a solid, yeah. But spelled with like 3 E's. Yeah.
And just far too many H's.
Way too
An
many.
exasperated yeah.
Yeah.
Just yeah. Heard. Cool. Then Riley will get dressed and pack a bag full of, things to get them through the day.
Okay.
And I see you smirking. You don't know what's in that bag yet.
I packed light. Holds up a Ziploc full of white powder.
It's real light.
I really want to know what's in Riley's day bag.
Weirdly, it's about the same as his night bag.
Their EDC is pretty minimal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last question would just be the text of when and where. And
Yeah. So Jonas would pass that along.
Okay. Because you guys were able to gather a decent amount of information without raising any sort of red flags, everyone at home, cast members, desperation is down to 1 now. Danger is still 2, but desperation has been lowered because you guys were able to gather quite a bit of information without triggering any sort of bad things happening. Congratulations. You guys lose a point of desperation dice. trying to make a bad
Something
thing.
about the way you said that just makes me really nervous.
I mean, how dare you do something so well you lose bonus dice? How dare you? The
We
audacity.
don't need them.
I don't buy it. What's Bruce up to?
Nothing. You guys are just rolling well, is all I'm saying.
Has anybody else had to use desperation dice yet?
No, Hannah could have done it, but actively avoided it like it was the plague.
Hannah knows what happens when she rolls special dice.
True. I think everyone who's a fan of Indy by Night knows what happens when Hannah touches special dice.
The body count is high.
It's not high, okay? Is all I'm saying.
I love that.
The body count of our allies is high.
Also true. Also true. All right. So Jonas, as we go ahead and prepare the different scenes, because this group loves to split up my attention. As we go ahead and begin to set the different scenes, are you wanting to make a sort of personal scene with your connection, or you want to do it more public? How are you going to be interacting with your contact?
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
I don't have a contact at the police station. I think he would head down and just see who's on duty.
Okay. Perfect. Right, you're headed to
Definitely not chain smoking to calm his nerves.
Oh, of course not, and definitely not just chugging a whole pot of coffee on the in the other hand either.
The fact that you would bring it up is honestly really insensitive.
Yeah, that's on me, guys. I apologize.
As if Jonas had a mini, it would have a to-go cup of coffee in its hand.
Exactly. Let's see here, Trina. What would you like to be doing? What scene would you like to have set up for this?
I think in any of the information that I was digging up, did Madison Rice have any like surviving relatives, parents, brothers, sisters that are still in the region?
She did have a sister, who obviously still alive and well, but any sort of record of her being around here disappears roughly about 6 months after her death. Not like any sort of malicious disappearance, but like seeming to have moved on somewhere else. And then both her parents are still very active in the community, and are still putting up missing posters and like going to like support groups and things like that.
Where she was listed as missing, not dead.
No, she was listed as dead, but they just are
Okay.
seeming to have a hard time believing that to be true.
Okay, I'll see if I can reach out and come make an appointment to visit with them.
Okay. Perfect. And then that leaves Brick and Riley, the two BFFs, going to a stakeout.
We're best friends now. Can't fight it.
I would just like to point out that you have left Scooby-Doo and Shaggy at the scene of the haunted house.
That means there's at least got to be some good snacks somewhere in that truck, is all I'm saying.
There's definitely some snacks. Somebody's going to say zoinks, and things are going to go sideways.
A lot of running is about to happen, is what I'm hearing.
Freaking jinkies, am I right?
They are always the ones that solve the mystery, right? So
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Hey, while you guys were off talking to who knows what's his butt, we killed that ghost. Brick ate it. I don't know what happened.
Brick ate a guy.
Brick ate a guy.
That would be
That
awesome.
hasn't happened in a game I've played in at least a month.
That's fair. That's fair. Perfect. We will go ahead and start with your guys' scene. As it's coming up on about 6:30. By the time you go and by the time Riley gets to the house, and you guys are now outside of the house in your truck, watching from afar.
So, is this pretty much what we're doing?
I mean, we could sit here and watch it. If you've got a better idea, I'm all ears.
No, that probably came off way more sarcastic than it needed to. Never done a stakeout before, so I mean, I'm as familiar as like movies with how stakeouts actually work.
I'll be honest, I've definitely never staked out a ghost before. So normally there's more purpose to it, I think. So you're trying to see like who comes in and who goes where and what security guards are doing, where the cameras are, all sorts of interesting crap.
Okay.
The most interesting thing that's happened here is the curtain fluttered and there was a hand.
Spooky.
Or just somebody
Um,
inside a house. I don't know. I didn't see this thing.
I'm gonna try a thing, and I'll roll the window down a little bit,
Uh huh.
and like I'm not leaning all the way out of the car or anything like that. I'm just kind of like removing some sort of obstacle between me and the house, and focusing really intensely. I'm gonna try to, uh, whatever it's called, the unnatural. Flirt with the unnatural.
Sense the
Sense
unnatural.
the unnatural. Yep.
Right.
It, because I don't have the range upgrade for it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something I'm in range to do? Or
Yeah, you guys
not?
are definitely within a city block of this
Okay.
house, so you can definitely still do that with any sort of issues.
Cool. I do have precision, so I can tell what in that area is actually spooky. Pulling up the book. I'm sorry.
So you would be able to hunters determine exactly who among those present in a room is a creature of the supernatural. Not able to determine what type, unless it is a creature they also have a specialization perk for.
Yeah, I'm more so just trying to make sure that we're not wasting our time sitting in a single spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, there it is. And I am using the occult option. So
Yes, please.
Uh,
And you're looking for a 4, friendo.
Okay. You ever hate it when like you get all your stuff logged in and good to go, and you just get logged out of stuff because you sat too long?
Yeah, that's why I'm always walking.
Yeah, I mean,
While this is going on, Brick, go ahead and roll wits and awareness for me, please. The DC 3.
so.
I don't know if I want to.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I definitely it's gonna go badly though.
Weirdly, your desperation also went up.
Oh, and I guess my headphones died because I don't hear y'all, but I got 4 hits. So let me fix that real fast.
You got 6, actually.
Oh, did they crit? Sorry, I am the failure, and I forgot that, we probably should be using, like, Roll20 have pulled up so I can, verify people's successes.
Oh, and thank you. That is 6.
Because you critical.
Because I crit on. Oh yeah.
There is indeed something supernatural within the house. You don't have a exact pinpoint, but there is something supernatural inside of that house.
Okay.
Actively.
Actively something in that house.
Correct. I'm
All
sure
right.
you would love to know that.
Yeah, so I'll pass that along. Yeah, so no, the vibes are definitely off in that house for sure. Like I'm sure we already knew that. I was just wanted to make sure we weren't like wasting our time or something like that with
No, I mean that's. Can so you can sense the vibes?
Yeah, so TLDR on it here, big dog. When I was doing my thing, I was kind of like a judge of character, whatever, what have you. Um, and when I got done doing my thing, there's some residuals. And I can sense things that aren't people. I thought I was going crazy until I realized, that stuff's real. So yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Uh.
I know
So.
it's weird. I know. I wish I had a better answer.
No, I mean that's it. Weird shit's weird. I get it. Would it be? Would you get more information if we got closer?
Uh, maybe. I'm still kind of trying to figure out exactly how this whole thing works. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not an expert yet. Um, so far I've just been able to kind of get the idea that something not humans around, maybe seeing a thing or people or something. I might be able to get something better, but that's about where I'm at.
All right.
And I mean, you're the boss right now, so where you say go, I'll go.
How am I the boss? How did that happen? I work for a living.
I don't think most of the other folks involved would want to know that I was making direct choices for things.
Well, most of the folks ain't here, so
That's true. I mean, you want to make definitely not the smartest decision.
I don't know. Again, the last thing I was hunting, you could shoot and took silver bullets. Scary as shit. Fast, scary, big, furry. You know, but you could shoot it. I mean, can I shoot a ghost? I don't think so.
I don't know. Have you tried?
Feel like I probably can't.
I mean,
But that is based on Ghostbusters, so I don't know.
no, I'm tempted to agree with you. Like, you probably can't just shoot a ghost, but at the same time, who knows? Like, shit's weird out here, man. Who knows? You could probably just walk in there, put a gun in a ghost's face, and be like, "Whoa, I'm out," and go to wherever the hell ghosts go when they're not here.
Feel like though, if you go if we go off together and shenanigans ensue, people might be pretty pissed. That kind of happened last time.
Yeah. All right, all right. Hmm. I don't know. I told you this is why you're the
Like
boss.
next one, when you and me are together, shenanigans will ensue. Then you got I will have your back 100%. But
Okay.
let's maybe do this one by the book.
Can I read that book?
If Trina will let us borrow it.
Awesome. Cool. Yep.
Bruce, with what I know, which is not a lot, but I do have a little bit of a cult, is there something else that might occur to Brick to do on a stakeout beyond just look at this window that's not occurring to me, the player?
Yeah, go ahead and roll wits and occult for me, please. Or I will allow also intelligence and occult if that is better for you.
It would be one better.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll. 3 successes.
3 whole successes. No, it's difficult. You haven't hunted a ghost before, so you don't know exactly. But using your knowledge of your hunt with the werewolf, and some of the hunt with the vampire most recently, even when you're looking for a stakeout on something, you're looking for routines, you're looking for uh, any big changes in the norm or anything like that. Um, but it's hard to tell what is the norm and what is a ghost routine going into all this. So you know of a couple things to check, but nothing is really kicking up the radar. What did you get on that wits and awareness earlier, by the way?
3.
3. You've been here a couple times now. Between the 2 different meetings, and one thing you have noticed is that the grass surrounding sort of like the base of the house and going outward is sort of faded from dead to dying to healthier at the edges of the property.
Okay, so like it's like the house itself is looks like it may be draining the life or killing the grass or something.
Correct.
I will point that out to Riley. And then I'll say, I had just an idea just occurred to me. I don't think anybody's talked to the neighbors. Maybe we should go knock on some doors, see if they know anything about the house.
Yeah, just knock on the door. Hey, you got a ghost next door? We have a couple questions.
I mean, I feel like we could probably do better than that. Hey, we're thinking about buying this property next door. What's the scoop? We heard it's coming on the market next week. You know how
That's
hard real estate is these days.
that's better than my shitty sarcasm. Yes. We should go with that one.
Are you good at talking to people?
Are you not?
Yeah, good point. Let's do this.
All right, are you guys tackling the houses together, or are you guys wanting to hit different houses, like a one on each side, or?
I think it might be better if we go together.
I agree.
Why'd you say it like that?
If anybody asks, you're my weird uncle.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's like, I don't know. What are people gonna like? They're gonna look at the 2 of us and be like, wow, this is a weird looking couple.
I mean, put it like that. Shit.
Now I feel bad. I'm sorry.
It's all
That was
right.
shitty. No,
No, it's fine.
it's not. No. No, Brick, I'm the asshole.
I'll be your weird uncle. It's cool.
Heard it here
Weird
first.
Uncle Brick.
I'm not saying that I'm
Brick.
not enjoying this stakeout. I'm just saying that maybe next time we do a little planning on cover stories and things like that should we have to go knock on some doors.
We're doing that right now.
True. God. Okay. You know what?
It's going to be your place. I'm the uncle. I've got the money because you're young and it's hard for you Gen Zers.
Yep. That's the one we're going with.
All
Solid
right.
plan. 1, 2, 3. Ready, break.
You guys go ahead and head towards the neighbor's house, and you go ahead and give it a good old fashioned knock. Um, a few moments go by, and a gentleman about late 30s answers the door. Yes, can I help you?
I'm gonna look at Brick for a second and then look back and go, "Oh, hey, so it's super sorry for just kind of showing up, but do you have a quick question for you about the house next door? We're looking at buying it. Do you know anything about it?"
Uh, mm, is it going for sale already?
I had somebody tell me probably the next like week and a half ish, it was probably gonna go up.
That's quick. Um,
How quick
yeah,
for what? I'm sorry.
no, the tenant passed away like yesterday or the day before, somewhere around there. So I was just very quick that it was already processed by police and everything else so quickly, then already getting ready to be put up. But I guess that's the housing market today.
No, it's wild out here. All
I
right.
didn't hear that about the tenant.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm their uncle. Uh, hey, so somebody died?
Yeah. Um, we don't really know what happened. But we just saw a bunch of police here, and it looked like someone carried out on a gurney.
that's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. Well, like now the rest of my questions sound shitty.
Well, uh, since Brick is assisting, I need you to go ahead and roll a manipulation plus subterfuge for me. You can take an additional bonus die from Brick assisting.
All right. Oof. We're gonna try to fix some of that.
I like that. I like it.
Oh, it's a really good dice pool. You were acting like you couldn't talk to people.
Oh no, it's a great It's a great dice pool. I was just pulling some shit on you.
I meant to ask if you wanted to use a desperation die, by the way, because this is something you
No.
could.
No, we're not desperate dicing on this one. I'm just gonna, willpower some of those.
Sure, sure, sure.
All right. So 3 successes.
Okay. Make a roll real quick.
God, I hope that's enough.
Um. Right. Yeah. So, what are your questions then?
Well, like, I don't know. It just seems rude knowing that somebody died there, but like, died in the house.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But overall, like, safe neighborhood.
I mean, we don't exactly know what the cause of death was, so it's sort of hard to tell. But I mean, I haven't had any issues with anything around here.
Okay. Then. All right.
I'm a little superstitious. Don't laugh, but
Hmm.
is anything weird? I'm a little concerned about buying a place where somebody passed.
Yeah. Honestly, same.
I mean, not that I'm particularly aware of. I mean, he didn't take care of his yard or anything like that for the most part. I've lived here for almost a better part of a year, and I've only seen the guy mow his grass a couple times. But I mean, other than that, no, I can't really say anything of that capacity. And you see the person sort of like give you guys a weird look as discussing superstitions about a house.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna look at Brick. I think that kind of answers me. Like, thanks for the information. I appreciate you. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, of course. Happy to help.
Yeah. All right. Have a have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Then he'll go ahead and shut his door.
Yep. As we're walking away, just feel like that was atrocious and
Well, I thought
nothing
it was pretty smooth, honestly.
new.
Also, why am I your uncle? We're like the same age.
I don't know. I'm tiny and cute, and you're much bigger than me. People would probably believe that you're older than me.
Whatever.
Just making me the asshole every which way around here.
I get it. No, I'm not your type. It's fine. You can tell he's obviously fucking with you.
Bitch. And back to stakeout duty, I guess. Back
Yep.
to
Yeah, and I
walking the
think maybe
house.
just, we don't have to tell anybody that we tried this.
Yeah, no, this was a hot mess. We'll get better at it. We'll figure it out. We'll find our stride.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good dry run. It was practice.
Great practice. Great practice.
Perfect. We will move on to Trina. You go ahead and reach out. And the parents have agreed to meet with you at a. Either you're more than welcome to swing by their house, or they're also willing to meet you at like somewhere like a coffee shop if you'd prefer.
Are they okay with dogs?
As long as it's trained, they don't have an issue.
100%.
I figured that.
I'll go to their house.
Okay. You arrive and it's a older looking house. It looks like it's 2, maybe 3 stories, but the third is probably like an attic of some kind. But it's very, very old house. If this was on a hill and it happened to be like, storming at night, you'd probably see Scooby-Doo here. It is just sort of old, decrepit house. Seems like the house has seen better days. But still functional. Grass is mowed, taken care of. But you can definitely tell there's some work that needs done to it. But nonetheless, you see this couple sort of standing at the front door and sort of waving at you. And everything you've seen from pictures online and research that you've done, these are the 2 people that you've seen as listed as their parents.
Hi, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I know I just called y'all up out of nowhere, and, I'm sure you've got a lot of questions for me, just like I have for you, but if you'd like, go on inside and we can just start talking.
Yeah, of course. Please. And the when you walk in, the houses continue to have that old but very homey feel to it. You have tile or not tile, but wooden floors. Most of the like you have like a nice banister that heads up to the second floor. And you see off to the right, it looks like it's a little bit of a parlor, but it's like been changed into a like a small meeting area. And yeah, please, they come in, and he picks up a bunch of papers off of a chair and adds them to a large stack of papers, and it's just missing posters.
I indicate for you know, Tank to stay on the wood and just kind of wait outside of the sitting room. He'll just sit there very alert and paying attention, and I'll go in and just make myself as comfortable as possible. You have a lovely home.
Oh, of course, of course. Uh, Dear, would you mind grabbing us or do you drink tea?
Yes, is
Okay.
it chamomile?
Uh, sh- I have no idea. And no, it's green. I hope that's okay.
Oh, that's perfectly okay.
She's the one that's a big tea fan. It's, I guess, better than that of copious amounts of coffee that I was drinking. But
Well, don't tell her, but I like to do that too.
she sort of just smiles and nods as she gives and excuses herself out of the room. So what brings you by?
Well, I don't know if anyone's been in contact with you, but I thought it was appropriate given the connection. I don't know if you'd heard that Caden had passed.
I have not heard that.
Unfortunately, about 2 days ago,
Do they know
the
why?
fa- they're they suspect foul play.
Hmm.
Did you know Caden very well?
Not much more than what our daughter told us him. I know he was nice enough to work around. They work together from time to time on different projects and different stories. Um, but I mean, I think he came over for dinner once a couple years ago. But other than that, they didn't come around too often.
So, from your understanding, was their relationship entirely professional?
I couldn't tell you. She was very secret about her personal life. But I will say she didn't exactly bring him around for the holidays, if anything were to happen.
And now, I know that, and I apologize because I know this is going to be a sensitive subject. The police seem to have closed the matter of your daughter's passing, and I see the missing posters, and I've seen them up around town. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think that they found the wrong person. I think they. I'm not saying that like IMPD is perfect or anything like that, but I don't know how much time and research actually went in. I mean, this case was she went missing when a lot of the police force actually passed away in a big gang fight down by the museum. Um, but I think I don't know. Maybe they just got swept under, and the FBI didn't care enough to continue to go, or what be the case. But I don't believe that she actually. I think they just got tired and just slapped a name to a body and called it hers.
So you had the opportunity, and again, I do apologize. And if I'm overstepping, you just let me know. But you did have the chance to identify the body.
What was left of it, yeah.
I take it that's where your reservations about her actually being passed come from.
Uh, One of the many things. I mean, the case was dropped very quickly. They didn't seem to truly care that my daughter is missing and that they had bigger problems. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, half the police force was gone overnight, and I get that. But at the same time, like, you still have a city to protect and people to find.
And I'm assuming they do it any DNA to try to confirm that it was her?
Allegedly, I mean, but it was just a piece of paper saying DNA matched.
Gotcha. I understand. Um, well, I actually work with a group of private investigators, and given the nature of Caden's death, uh, and your suspicions that maybe your daughter is still out there somewhere, um, we would be interested in for pro bono looking into this for you. Would you be willing to accept our help?
I would like to at least talk to the wife about it before.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I completely understand. We're just, you know, with what happened with Caden, we don't really feel like the police are all that interested in solving that crime. Um, given the nature of his passing, from what has been described to us from his family, it was very, very bad, and and given that it happened in the same home where your daughter used to live, um, and Caden, and I don't know if you were aware of that, but Caden now resided there.
No, I didn't know. I knew someone moved in. Um,
Yeah, he purchased the home,
hmm.
and moved in, and some of his relatives advised us that he was starting to have some signs of mental instability, claiming to see uh, your daughter in reflections. I don't know how much stock to put into that. It could be schizophrenia, it could be drugs. We've just gotten started, so. But I guess what I'm asking from you, if you are willing to let us do this, is if we could have any of the possessions that might have been recovered, most specifically documents, journals. If you had, and I don't know if you turned her social media profiles into memorial profiles, but if you had passwords to access those. If not, um, if you're comfortable, we do have a IT specialist who might be able to crack into those, and maybe we could look at her messaging history. That might give us some details leading up to the events of her disappearance.
I we don't have any sort of passwords or anything like that because again, I do think she's missing more than not, and so I mean, we haven't done anything in that sort of capacity for it. Um, so I mean, if they can get in, they're more than welcome to, especially if it has any sort of information on maybe where she went. Um, and if you guys find that she purposely, wanted to like separate and move out and get her own life away from us and start anew, then just let us know. We don't have to tell us where she went or anything like that. But um, please go ahead and roll wits and awareness for me, DC 2.
Okay. Oh, let's just re-roll that.
Seems good to me.
Oh, I got one success.
Oh no.
I will allow you, if you would like, to succeed at a cost.
Sure.
You succeed?
Yeah.
I'll you know what, I'll even let you know the downside before if you would like.
Sure.
Desperation is going to go back up to 2.
I'm okay with that.
I like it. Rest the cast. There you go.
Sorry, y'all.
But you happen to hear the sounds of footsteps above you as the wife enters in with the small plate of tea. Sorry, it took us a little bit of extra time to brew this.
Oh, no worries at all, honey.
She goes ahead and begins to place down teas in front of everyone as she sort of sits down at the almost like the arm of this chair that her husband's sitting in, and just sort of sits there. But you still hear the subtle footsteps up above you.
Would you like me to speak with your wife about what I've proposed, or
Oh,
would you prefer to do that after I leave? I don't want you to feel any pressure.
I mean, if you actually just wouldn't mind just like stepping out of the room, you're more than welcome to sort of just enjoy your tea out there. If you wouldn't mind me just having a minute to talk to her now, we could discuss that.
Sure. Do you have a restroom?
Yeah, we actually go upstairs, and it's right across from the stairwell.
I'll take the tea with me.
Okay.
I'll and Tank, so he's right behind me.
Fair. And you go begin to head up the staircase, and you can begin to hear definitely some hush. You won't be able to hear exactly what they're talking about, but some hush conversations happening between the couple.
When I get in the bathroom, I'll go ahead and pour the tea down the sink.
How dare you? She worked hard for that tea, okay? Gosh.
I don't need to get roofied and, end up in their basement.
I don't know what kind of monster you think I am, Justin, but geez, I don't know how I've hurt you.
The type to run World of Darkness game.
And also, I just think about what I would do to my players.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, while I'm up there, I'll kind of like get a lay of what the floor plan looks like up here.
Sure.
Are bedroom doors open? Are they all closed?
There is a well, first thing you notice is that there is like one of those fold down ladders that head up into the attic. That is currently open. Like they were in the process of working on some stuff. But you also do see there is a room right above where you were sitting. That door is shut. There is a couple of other doors that are up here that are like ajar, but not fully open, not fully closed. They're sort of cracked.
Do they have like family pictures on the wall and stuff like that up here?
They do. They have
Okay.
multiple family pictures, and you can definitely see the two parents and both the girls.
Using the pretense of just kind of looking at the family photos, I'll kind of make my way over towards the closed door.
Mm-hmm.
Ears like alert,
Sure.
listening.
Are you trying to be stealthy while doing this? Because it is
No, because
wooden floors up here.
They know I'm up here,
Cool.
and I wasn't stealthy coming up the stairs, so I'm just gonna act like I'm just
Just
looking
at
around,
the photos, being a creep.
taking my time.
Of course.
I'll take a couple pictures with my cell phone though, just so I've
That's
got
messed
the
up.
whole family.
Of course. Okay. Yeah, you head over and they have a large, almost like collage of photos, and it just says like family tree on it, and it just has a bunch of photos that are sort of placed throughout the tree.
Out of curiosity, just because, does the word Yorak appear anywhere on the family tree?
As you're looking, that word has no presence on this tree.
Just checking.
Yep.
Just checking. Does the family tree have indication of the roots of the family?
It does not. But go ahead and roll wits and investigation for me, please.
That's actually one of my good ones.
You're welcome. DC is going to be 3 on this, though, so it is going to be a little bit tougher.
That's fair. What in the fuck?
Oh, no. That is very bad.
Yeah, I have been rolling like hot trash. All right, I'm going to do at least 3 reroll.
Use that
Trina,
second
can I have my
point.
dice back, please?
Yes!
That's so good.
It came out clutch.
And with your 3 successes, a photo catches you off guard. It is a older photo, one of the family that lives in the house. The 2 parents and the 2 girls. When both of them are really, really young, you're talking probably like 5 or 6 for the kids. But you see a familiar castle in the background of one of their photos.
I will snap a shot of that too.
Okay.
And then, assuming that I haven't heard anything, I'll start to kind of head back down the stairs.
As you sort of finish taking that second picture and begin to like head and turn and begin to sort of head towards the top of the stairs, you do hear the door next to you open just a smidge.
Okay. I'll just kind of glance back over my shoulder, like, oh, I must have jostled this old door and it popped open.
Of course, of course. Yeah, you look at it, you see the door is maybe about an inch open, but it looks like it's like opens, but you can see like another wall that just opens up to it. So you have to open it further if you want to see into the room itself.
Okay, I don't want to push my luck here. So I will take out my medallion though and wrap it around my hand just in case.
Of course, of course.
Then I'm gonna head back down the stairs, but still the whole way down though I'm like watching the crack in the door to see if I see any like person kind of pop their head or a silhouette kind of dark in the doorway.
You don't, but as you're walking down the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
the footsteps are matching your walk, sort of like walking perpendicular, still above, but like
Right.
matching as you're walking down the stairs.
Not creepy at all.
Shouldn't be. I don't know why it would be. It's a perfectly nice house.
Yeah, no, it's not weird or nothing.
Nah. But you do hear the conversation begin to wrap up.
I'll just kind of acting like I'm drinking the rest of my tea.
Where the woman sort of doesn't like walks with purpose outside of the room and sort of begins to wipe like looks like wiping tears from her eyes, and excuses herself away. And you can see the dad, and you see his face is red, almost like trying to keep anger bottled down a little bit. Yes, please, you and your group do what you guys need to.
She'll reach out and kind of put a hand on his shoulder and I apologize if I've caused you any distress or any pain. I honestly, that is not my goal. I just want to try to figure out what happened to young Caden, and if in doing that I can help find out what happened to Madison, well, so much the better.
Yeah, I appreciate it, even if some people think that we should just let it go.
Do you have any boxes of her things that I might be able to take that we can kind of start sifting through?
Um, I mean, not ready, but I was in the process of packing some stuff up. Um, right above us is her room, actually. There's a couple boxes in there already. If you want to just grab a few things and toss them in there, I'll go with you.
Yeah, that'd be good. I don't want to take anything that has a lot of sentimental value.
I mean, to be fair, it all does. But if it
And I
gets her,
promise we'll return everything we can to you in the same condition we took it.
good to hear. Glad to hear. Yeah. If you want to meet me in her room, I'm gonna grab a couple more boxes and I'll meet you over there. I just gotta go up to the attic.
I will when he kind of bounds up the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of see. Did the mom go back in the kitchen?
You didn't see exactly where she went off to, but she did disappear from that opening, sort of foyer area.
Okay, I'll kind of walk down the hall the direction I think she went and
Mhm.
see if maybe she's in the kitchen.
She looks like to be in a kitchen nook area,
Hmm.
and she just sort of seems to just have her head facing down, and just you can see there's a napkin and her tea, and her napkin's just covered in tears. Um,
I kind of give a light kind of rap on the door frame.
and you see her take the napkin and wipe the rest of her tears, and
I'll
yes,
intentionally kind of look away to give her a moment to kind of put herself together. I,
yeah,
I just wanted to apologize, ma'am. I know this has to be hard for you, and I'm not trying to cause you any further pain. I'm just we've been asked by Caden's family to look into this, and I figure if we could find out anything about Madison, you know, maybe help if we can't find her, at least maybe help solve what happened to her.
I'm just ready for it to be over. I almost got through to him that she was actually dead, and we were packing up her things until you and your group decided to come up.
And again, ma'am, I apologize. I wasn't not trying to cause you any further harm. We're just trying to figure out what happened.
Well, I hope that you figure something out.
I do too. I really do.
Uh, if
I
you'll
know.
excuse me, I gotta go. And she just goes and steps
Sure.
out the back door.
I'll kind of take a moment and watch and see what she's doing.
She steps out to the back door and heads out to a garage that they have out back.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll head up the stairs. I figure I've given myself enough time that he should be back down. I don't have to go in that goddamn room alone.
You could go ahead. You hear the sound of running water in the bathroom, but the door is now wide open to the bedroom of hers. And you can see um, it probably hasn't been touched in many, many, many years, and it looks like a teenager probably lived here at some point. Um, Talking different sports team posters sort of plastered up on the wall. Um, and you even see one portion where it is uh, because of Trina's nature, almost looks like a board, like a post board of trying to like see a bunch of different things that are sort of dragged together, and it's very minute stuff. Like a small looks like a investigative journalism that she was doing for some sort of school project, where it was like information on where's the lunch really come from in our school, something very very small like that. But it's you can see like the investigation take place, and you see it's a lot of things that would track. Um, but you begin to see um, there is a desk, and it has a bunch of like decorative stuff on top of it, but no computer or anything like that. But it looks like it had the space for one. Um, and it does have a computer chair that's sort of rolled out a little bit, like so it looks like someone was sitting there. Um, like it's out and facing, sort of like someone stood up from the desk and it rotated outwards. Um,
So, getting down on the floor real quick,
mhm.
are there divots in the carpet from like where the chair had been sitting for like a long period of time?
uh,
Or does it look like this chair has seen frequent moving about?
Seems like at least you can definitely see it in the carpet where it is. That at least it looks like there's a consistent arc from where this chair moves.
Okay. Is there any like dust on the chair itself?
Uh,
Like on the foot?
not an unnatural amount.
Okay.
Um, like like that. Not that's like sit here and just collected dust the entire time. But most
Gotcha.
things in this room don't have any sort of layer of dust on them, which is probably like everything is about as clean as the rest of the house you've seen so far.
Hmm.
Which has been pretty spotless on the inside. The outside, so you needed some work, but the inside has been very well kept. It's been like the floors could probably be polished up a bit, but otherwise everything is very well taken care of inside the home.
I'm gonna put my hand on the desk where the laptop would have been.
Hmm.
Does that space feel warm?
No, it does not. Has a
Okay.
cold feel to it.
Okay. Is there a plug for a laptop, like coming up from behind the desk?
Uh, no, there is not.
Okay. Uh, some of the boxes have already been packed. Is that
Uh,
accurate?
yes, there are some boxes that are already been packed up. You do see that the dresser drawers have been opened, and it looks like a lot of those are getting packed up currently. You do see there is a large collection in a almost like a very tight sort of net that's hanging up in the corner of the room where it's just completely filled with Beanie Babies of all different sizes.
Her parents thought they were going to pay for her college with
Ex-
that.
It probably the amount that this there it's probably true. Uh, and you do see there are some that are still within boxes, and pristine.
Yeah. Her mom looks like a beanie babyer.
Yeah, sort of looks like it.
Mostly I'm not really interested so much in the clothes. Are there any boxes that have like books, journals, photo albums, file folders, that kind of stuff? Stuff that might actually be useful in an investigation.
Go ahead and roll wits investigation for me. DC's gonna
Okay.
be 2.
What in the fuck is going on?
Out of 6 dice, you rolled 4
What?
ones.
In the fuck? I guess I'll burn another willpower on stupid shit.
Hey, and you barely got it. Congratulations.
What is my luck right now? It is super trash.
Super good for storytelling. You barely see underneath the bed a large plastic container that looks like it's like in the process of being pulled out, but there you can see it's mostly under the bed still.
Okay, I'll slide it out.
Yeah, you go ahead and slide it out, and it looks like it is journals of all sorts, whether it's school or like more personal, but it sort of just looks like the entire like tub is almost filled with these journals.
Nice. I'll slide that one out into the hallway.
Okay. As you slide it out into the hallway, behind you at this point, into like what's the rest of the room, you hear a tap 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 on the corkboard.
What the fuck? I'll kind of go beside the corkboard and kind of tip it out just to see if there's like a hole in the wall or anything behind it.
As you sort of tip it back, you do see a manila folder that it's been taped over and sort of like a couple in one way and a couple in another to keep the documents inside, falls from behind the corkboard and like lands on the floor underneath of it.
I'll pick that up and I will actually like lift my jacket and slip it in my belt behind my back and then use my kind of jacket to kind of secret it
Yeah.
underneath.
And just remind me, you have thwart the unnatural, not repel the unnatural. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
perfect.
Yes. I just go, thank you, Madison.
As
Anything
you
else?
say that, you look at the front of the board where all like and you can see now that the string has been all undone, and it just says
Shit.
written in the string, that's been now, and it just says run in one big line. Like all the string has just been turned into run.
Okay, I'm gonna start. Oh my good, really? I pull my phone out, put it to my ear. Yes. Okay. No. I'll be right there. I promise. Come on, Tank. Let's go.
And sure enough, Tank is ready to go. As you leave, the door slams behind you.
Yeah, Mister, I'm so sorry. I have to go. I'll come back for that stuff. I'll run down the stairs.
You see him hurry up and open the door. Okay. All
I
right.
promise. With family emergency. I gotta go. I have to tell my ass twice.
Can you go ahead and roll?
Remember, I got my thing in my hand.
You sure do, which gives you an opportunity to resist. Composure.
We have been
and a
rolling
Colt,
tonight.
please. Composure and a Colt.
I believe in you.
I don't. My rolls have been utter dog shit. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Gonna cast guidance from a
3.
Three.
Woo!
You feel the sense of being watched as you exit out the front. And you almost get this feel like you should turn around.
I will get to my truck. Then I'll turn around.
You see a shadowy, just like a silhouette in the window that would have been her room.
Does it feel menacing?
You can't really tell. It's just like a completely black silhouette. But then you look up in the attic and you see another one.
Same style?
Yep,
like
same style.
Shadowy kind of silhouette? Oh shit, her sister's dead too. Son of a bitch.
A few moments later, you see another one in the front room where you guys were sitting at.
What in God's name?
And then I need you to go ahead and roll Wits and Awareness, DC 2.
Oh my rule. Yeah! Woo! There, finally it's turning around.
Near the base of the house, and it was mostly covered by, it looks like some bushes, a familiar hole.
I'm getting the fuck in my truck. I'm putting it in drive, and I'm squealing tires all the way out of the neighborhood.
Okay. During this time, we'll go ahead and transition the scene over to a police station. Jonas, you have arrived at the police station. At this point, it's about 6:30 in the afternoon. Plenty of people still inside doing paperwork and all sorts of things, but you definitely have about 5 or 6 officers that are sort of doing certain different things around the building.
Jonas spends, I think, a solid minute sitting in his car before he finally goes in, basically playing with an unlit cigarette before he finally tucks it back into the pack, sticks the pack in the glove compartment, and stands up to walk in.
Okay.
When he does, he looks around and finds whoever the officer on duty is at the desk and walks up and says, "Hey, you have a minute?"
Yeah, what can I help you with? And you don't recognize this individual from the time with your ex or anything like that. Either a newer person or something like that, but you just don't recognize them.
So Jonas is going to say, I was here earlier today. I dropped off a police report for an event that happened yesterday at a residential house out in Gibbs, the area where the house was.
Mm.
I was hoping that I could potentially talk to somebody who's on the investigation there. There was somebody who passed who a friend of mine knew, and she's upset and I was hoping that I could maybe get her some information.
Um, yeah, let me take a look and see who we got here. Um, yeah, it's gonna be Officer Chapman, who's gonna be leading the investigation.
Okay. Any chance I can talk with them?
Um, you see, look over the computer. Yeah, it looks like he's still here. Or at least he's supposed to be. Let me check see if he's available at his desk for you.
Perfect.
He goes ahead and heads over to the next room over and has a you can you've been in this station enough where you know there's a bullpen on the other side of this wall where they all are doing their paperwork and whatnot. And he sort of props the door back open. Yeah, come on by. He's available.
Okay, great. He's gonna let himself be led back there
Yeah.
until finally.
And it's a little off-putting. This was actually the desk where your partner used to sit. Um, and realistically, he probably, if he was still on the force, he probably would be doing this case. Um, but you see, Officer Chapman, he stands up, and probably early 40s, mid 40s, somewhere around there, stands up and Joshua Chapman.
Nice to meet you. And Jonas is going to offer a hand and say, "Thanks for taking the time."
Of course, of course. What can I have the report that you gave here pulled up. Is there
Okay, great.
anything what can I help with?
Yeah. So I mentioned in there that a couple of friends of mine were in the house, and one of them was she knew the deceased. Um, I was hoping that you might be able to share a little bit about what happened, or if there was anything that I could maybe tell her to help allay some concerns.
Yeah, I mean, I first want to ask, did she see the body by chance? I know she was in the house, but
So
I didn't know if she.
I think so.
Okay.
Um, she came out of there in a hurry, looking like she'd seen a ghost. So uh,
It's
I think she
understandable.
probably did.
Um, well, if she saw the body, then we the I'm sure that she's aware of the attack that he withstood, which makes us definitely feel like there's some sort of foul play involved. Um, we're still getting a lot of that information back from our crime scene investigation team, and trying to see exactly what took place and the timeline for it all. It's still very much very early on in the process. I'm sure um, you're aware, but yeah, I mean we're still very early on in the process, and if you or your group of friends have seen the body in the place, you guys know just about as much as we do as far as um, what
Okay.
the cause
Um,
is.
okay. So I guess so. I think that what Jonas is probably looking to get out of this is any details that they have on what the house looked like, or potentially like a picture. Though I'm sure that that's something that this officer is not readily willing to part with.
No, not quite.
So I think maybe what he'll try to do is take a look around the desk and like, is there anything out? Was this the case that he was working on at the time? Or otherwise offer to be like, okay, well, um, uh, that's the statement, obviously, but we're obviously interested in getting to the bottom of this. So if there's any way that I could help, if there's anything that I could look at and maybe say like, you know, we saw him earlier, so I could maybe tell you if there was something out of place on him or something like that. So
Yeah, go ahead and roll a couple things for me. First one is going to be wits and investigation, DC 2.
okay,
And then the next one is going to be manipulation plus persuasion, DC 3.
I am gonna willpower this investigation,
Okay.
and I'll just re-roll the 2. Ah. All right, and then you said manipulation, persuasion.
Yes, please. And that one is DC 3 for that one.
Okay. I assume this doesn't have anything to do with legal arguments, though I might try to use that to allay suspicions about, like, hey, are you going to get in trouble for this?
Yeah, you can absolutely go ahead and add that dice roll, or add that specialization for
Right.
sure.
3.
Nice. You can't really tell. He's got a lot of different cases opened up on his desk, different case files. So it's hard to tell if this was the active one he was currently working on. But when you mentioned something specific about the seeing him earlier, so knowing if something was different or not on him, he goes, "Well, I mean, yeah, if you wouldn't mind," he goes ahead. Are you okay with gruesome pictures or?
Yeah. It won't be the first time I've seen something like that.
Okay. And he goes ahead and takes a deep breath and then opens up the file, and you can see once again the absolutely butchered individual of Caden. I mean, this is how we found him. Is there anything that you're aware of that is missing, or?
So I'm going to take this opportunity to try to study the photo as much as I can and see, anything that I might be able to share that could help. I'm assuming it looks like the heart was removed and is currently missing.
Weirdly enough, it does look like the heart and a lot of the interior organs were. The heart was definitely removed, easy enough to tell, but a lot of the interior organs to get there were sort of ravaged in the process. It doesn't look like it was done meticulously.
Okay. Could I pretend? No, I don't think I could. I guess I'm gonna see if I can remember this well enough to describe it to Trina, since I don't have the int in medicine to be able to figure out, like, does this look like an animal did it? But I think that at the end I'm gonna say, yeah, no, that. I mean, obviously, it's tough to tell specifically, but that looks like the same outfit that he was wearing a couple hours before. Nothing that him getting mauled, I'm guessing mauled, uh, wouldn't account for. You have any idea how they did this?
No, we don't know how or what did this. Um, the amount of strength that would be required for a person to be able to do this would be insane enough to tear apart. And he sort of looks and explains, like, it begins to explain that the rib cage looks like it was like ribs were snapped off to break free of the heart and the organs underneath of it. Um, and those are rigid, like they were just grabbed and pulled or like bitten off, versus like someone clamping them with something like you would see with any sort of medical procedure. So I'm not 100% sure that it sounds weird to say, but some sort of beast or something. This looks more like an animal attack than it did say a person that attacked and needed something out of this for whatever reason. But I don't know. This
Yeah,
is definitely one that's been stumping a lot of our specialists that sort of thrive in uh, these sort of difficult cases. Uh,
yeah, yeah. Looks I don't know. It looks a little bit vicious to have been an animal, right? Doesn't look like they were doing it for food.
it's weird. If I were to, and you see that he sort of sits back and jokes for a little bit and takes a sip of his coffee. If I didn't know any better, it was a beast with the mind of a person.
Well, weird. Can't imagine what that would be like.
Like,
Maybe a guard dog or something.
I mean, that's realistically, it could have been. It could have been a pet or a wolf or something like that that was trained.
Hmm.
That's a good idea. And you begin to go ahead and begin to look down and so she grabs a notebook and begin to jot down. And you can even see trained animal question mark. And begins to like narrow down a list of things that it could be. Um, one of the things you do recognize as one of the breeds that is Trina's dog. Um, is one of the things that are quickly added um, to the list. But you're
Yeah.
looking at things like it's a very out there list from like things as large as like that dog to wolf to coyotes, um, or anything of like literally anything that could bite and tear. That could be trained. It looks like it was added to this list. No,
Okay.
that's
So I think that I'll try to get as much information from him about the investigation as I can, and otherwise, I seem like I did what I came here to. And sorry, Trina, for the complication. I'll tell you about that later.
that does remind me. Was Tank was at the house?
Yeah, but officers on scene would definitely recall he was not covered in blood.
Right. Exactly. I was just making sure.
Yeah, he was
Um.
there.
Yeah.
GM's musings of how to leverage your own dog against you.
I mean, there's
I
a dog
know.
collar and everything. It's fine.
Yeah, I think that Jonas would add, like, as you're doing this, what kind of dog is Tank?
He is a Turkish Kangal.
There, wonder if I would know. I'll give a description of the dog. It'd be like a big dog
Mm.
that was there with a friend of mine. So you may find some, fur. We can give you the breed of the dog. I can describe it, but I'm sure that she'll know the breed.
This
Um,
one, and he shows up a picture, and it's a very zoomed out shot, but it's of everyone who was at the scene uh, of it.
yeah, that one. And I think that you'll agree with me that that dog doesn't look like it just finished tearing something apart.
You're right. This one does not.
Great. Well, glad I could give you somewhere to look. And
You you definitely did, and I'm so sorry. I didn't catch your name.
Jonas
Jonas. Nice to meet you again. And I
Bergstrom. He's gonna like point at his report. That
right,
that one.
right. And he goes and closes the report. Um, well, I appreciate if you and, here. He goes ahead and slides a bit his business card to you. If you have any other questions or anything like that, Jonas, please feel free to give me a call anytime, night or day. Okay.
Yeah, happy to.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. Do you need walked out, or do you know your way around?
I know the way out.
Okay. And he goes ahead and begins to pull up his computer. And as you sort of leave, you instantly see he opens the thing back up and begins typing information into the computer.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I think Jonas is doing his best to not look like he's running out of hair.
Right, exactly. You know what? No, I'm just kidding. All right, you go ahead and leave the scene of the police station. Um, you guys will go ahead and wrap up each of your scenes about 7:15 between the different conversations that each of you had. So it is about 7:15 in the afternoon. What is your guys' next step as you guys all sort of leave your conversations in one way or another, but weirdly enough, mostly hurried all across the board?
I think at this juncture I would be calling. Actually, I just head straight over to Brick.
Okay. So you're heading straight to the house?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I would call Trina on my way out as well, if only to give her a description of the body as quickly as I could and explain, like, hey, so if you get any questions about your dog, for some reason they're currently thinking that it was an animal, maybe like a trained animal. Cough for some reason.
Is that smoking,
Why do you think
Jonas?
they'd be thinking that?
They said it looked like it was too strong to be a person, but that it was maybe vicious, so something that was being territorial or commanded or something. I told him that your dog definitely looked like it hadn't just finished ripping a body apart, so hopefully that helped. I hope.
Well, I hope so too, darling. Okay, well, good to know. And yeah, that does sound like what I saw, for sure. Oh my, I've got so much to talk about. Can you head over to where Brick is over there at the house?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be
Can
there in 20 minutes.
you meet me over there and I'll spill the beans. I gotta stop and get me a coffee. I'm shaking so much.
Okay, grab me one too. I'll pay you when I get there.
Man, Jonas, I need you to make sure you have a dot of resources alone for your coffee consumption. Uh,
It's all cheap.
that's fair. You still need a. That's why it's only one dot, because it's all cheap. Um, but that's where we would go ahead and wrap it up for this evening. Thank you guys so much for coming, hanging out. Really do appreciate it. Once again, guys, we are going to be doing a live show over at during Gen Con. So if you guys are interested in coming and seeing us play some vampires and reliving sort of our roots of Indy by Night, feel free to go ahead and use that link in the chat and go ahead and grab a ticket to come and watch us play some very interesting vampires. But then this was episode 6 of our Hunter the Reckoning Chronicle, Rise of a Warrior. Last but not least, if you guys haven't already, tonight's episode and all future episodes is going to be sponsored by Adventure Dice, so head over to adventuredice.ca and use code JBruce for 10% off your dice orders. They are a fantastic little dice company that is getting all sorts of awesome dice coming in. We want to make sure to go ahead and support them, so make sure to head on over and use code JBruce. And I'll talk to you guys next week for another episode of Indy by Night. Have a fantastic night, guys.
Bye.